and welcome to Janie's Kitchen. Today we are going to talk about cooking basics. And the first thing we're going to need to talk about it is our best friend, the knife. So stick around, see you in a second. I'm going to go over a few tips that I have learned throughout my culinary journey. See you in a second. I'm Angie, and today we are going to talk about our best friend and our worst enemy, the knife. Seems like everyone is afraid of the knife and is one of our most and always used tool in the kitchen. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to go over a little bit some safety technique first of all, how to good use your knife, and just kind of good practices. Hi, the knife as our best friend and our worst enemy. So this is a tool that we use most all the time in our kitchen. No matter what we do, the knife is the tool that we use the most. So there is also a lot of fear about the knife. There is the left side of the blades, there is a big, there is a little, oh my goodness, what am I doing wrong? So I'm going to just kind of take the little fear out of you right now, and I'm going to go over a little bit about the knife. First of all, the knife that comes in all different shapes and sizes. So before you go out and spend a fortune on a knife, there is only a few sizes that you need. Literally, when you first start out, is an 8-inch like this, or a 6-inch, smaller little one, and a utility knife. With those 3 knives, you literally can do everything in the kitchen. Trust me, you don't need to go out and spend a fortune when you first start. So, this is my favorite at an 8-inch. It took me a while to get adjusted to it, but once I did, it's becoming my extension of me. So when you select a knife, don't have somebody else select it for you. You select your knife for yourself, because everybody's hands is different. My hands are smaller than my husband, is smaller than my son. We all 3 of us cook, but our knife is different. So when you pick a knife, pick it just for you. And what the best way to do it, and this is how I will start, you take your thumb and your index, you put it right here, right at the point of the blade where the handle meets, right here, and you hold it. If there is a balance on your hand, that's a good knife for your hands as a balance. And then the handle has to fit properly in the palm of your hand. Some knives are harder, have rougher edge, or they're slender. Just pick a knife that when you put it in your hand between the 2 fingers and you hold it, it feels beautiful for you. So you may have 2 knives. If your husband cooks in the kitchen or your partner cooks with you in the kitchen, he or she may have a different knife than you. But for you, you have to have it this way. First thing everybody wants to do is put the fingers up here. No, no, no. So your fingers goes down here, you hold it. Now if you look at it, the knife has to be the extension of you. You see? It's an extension. You see it, you done it. So it's just the perfect little tool for your hand. So this is how you pick a knife. Now, I like the longer blade because I could do a lot of things with it. But the first thing you have to do when everybody gets a knife, they think we all are Martha Stewart or Julia Child and go tick, 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 tick. Well, guess what? Not going to happen that way. So what you need to practice as soon as you get your knife is a gentle rocking motion. Just pull in, out, just like this. When you cut, you don't pull in, you go out. The reason being, if your hand slips, guess what? When you pull back, you're going to hurt yourself. If there is a kid behind you, is even worse. So you always go this way. Always out. Always out. So just practice, be on your kitchen, just go rocking my boat and just kind of click it and just kind of worry and look around. And if somebody comes in the kitchen asking what you're doing, you say, oh, nothing, just having fun. But just practicing that motion, right? So this is one way you get yourself practice on how to actually cut and chop. Second thing, the hand that you're now using, when you're going to start cutting, it's very important that this hand does not belong flat on your cutting board. For the simple fact is you don't want to chop your fingers. I mean, I did at the hospital for a few stitches because you decided to put your hand there. It's really not worth it. So, like if you were to play the piano or like a little mushrooms or anything, just put your fingers in. So you just put your hands down and then take your fingers and go in. It's like a cloth, just like a cloth technique. You see? Just shake it in. So what you do when the blade hits here, if it slips, well, guess what? It's not going to hurt much. and you're just cutting. So you're just going on that motion, always on that motion, out. Just this way all the time. So just those are the two things that you need to really practice when you have a knife. One important thing also that I want to talk about it is when you have a knife, when we chop items like a parsley or any herbs, we have tendency to take our blade and roll it over the board. Well, guess what? By doing this motion over our board, we are actually moving the blade and dulling one side of the blade. So anytime you are chopping something, like you assume I have parsley here, and you chop your parsley first, so you put your hands down and go that motion out. Then you want to regroup it, so instead of going this way, turn it around and use the spine. The spine's thicker, as you can see. Take it and scrape and bring everything back together and turn. So that's one thing to save your knife. And of course, your best friend, which is your knife, needs to be also very well sharpened too. So that's something that you have to really be careful. Claw hand, sharp knife, do it. Clear counter all around you. Couple of more things that I've noticed because I was giving cooking classes that is really important and you learn. We always have tendency to put the knife down, dry our hands, and then do this. Somebody comes along, grabs the towel, grabs the knife, they hurt themselves. The most important safety is make sure that whenever you have a knife, the blade is always facing a different direction, like this if you have little children in front of you, or put it this way underneath the board so the blade is hiding. Never leave a knife unattended with the towel next to it, and never put a knife in the sink on the bottom with dishes on top of it. That's the most dangerous things you can ever happen to a knife. So just to kind of recap a little bit, make sure that the knife when you purchase this, it fits your hand nicely as an extension of you. Make sure that when you chop, you prepare yourself, practice a boat rocking motion. Make sure that you have a claw technique for your hands, just making sure that it always ends so it taps against your knuckle, not on your fingers. And never ever put a towel over a knife. No matter what, no matter how busy you are, you can always take the knife, put it away, take the towel, put it somewhere else. But those two should be always separate. So next I'll show you how to actually cut a bell pepper and how to practice using your knife. So, okay, so now that we've practiced our bowed rocking motion and our claw technique, let's actually get a vegetable cut, shall we? I took this beautiful red bell pepper because it's the easiest thing to cut, and this is the easiest thing to show you literally a basic technique of opening up, seating, as well as stripping it and making it making it flat. So, with your knife, hold nice in your hand. With your other hands, grab your bell pepper. Now, to make it easy to cut a bell pepper, it's easier to cut first the top part here, where there is usually the stub, and the bottom part. Now, the bottom part usually has the little sit where it sits pretty, so this needs to be cut off as well as this, so it makes it an even strip. So let's just go down. Motion, 1 and 2. Now, those two pieces, I will not throw them away. I'll keep them because you can julienne them, you can cut them, and you can use them. So set those aside. Now, what we do, as you can see, a bell pepper has the inside part, has all those seeds. So what we want to do is take off all those seeds and the membrane and just clean it up. And there's an easy way to do it without really going crazy. So you take your bell pepper, you put it flat, you take your knife, and you just kind of cut down. Now once that is cut, you kind of literally go around with your knife on the bottom, as you can see, like this, and you literally cut off the whole inside without ever touching it. This part can go away, toss it. Oh, this is cute, look at it. It had a little baby inside. How adorable was that? So, sorry about that, a little side direction. So here we go, you have literally opened up and flattened your bell pepper. Now there's still a couple of membranes, so I will just go very easily with the inside of your knife, just kind of going in and oops, this is a little harder, and taking them off. Boom. That's it. So now you literally have flattened your bell pepper. I'm gonna cut this little piece off here to make it even for later. So now that you have this, you can do quite a few things with it. I usually cut it in the middle and have 2 even places. So we can do julienne strips. We can just stake it. Now, if you do it the other side, the skin side, it's always harder. If you do it the inside, it's always easier because it's soft. So you just literally take your knife and you make sure that you do all the same strips. This is excellent when you want to do salad, when you have a recipe requires some bell peppers, you just do it this direction. Boom. There you go. Now you see the motion, the rocking, and my fingers away from it. Okay. Now, by doing also the rocking motion, you use the blade from the tip all the way down. So that's another wonderful thing, and you need to remember this blade gets used all over the use it. If you only go this way down, you will use this part. You want to use the whole blade. So you just go in, out, and you see how even that is. Perfect. Right now, what you have, beautiful julienne, a little bigger than usual pieces, but those are excellent to snack and whatnot. So, and then what you can also do if you want to, you can make this a little thinner, or you can take those little matchsticks, julienne, and you can actually dice them. Sometimes there is recipe require that, so you just stake those, put them even with the blade, put your fingers there close to it, and just boom. There you go. As you can see, you got cute little dice, all the same size, and those are excellent when you want to try to make soups or you want to saute them, like if you have, for instance, some salmon, you can just use them as it is or on top of a salad. So, as you can see, it is very simple to use the knife to do anything with it. Okay, now I'm just doing this because it's there. So, and always make sure every time you clean the knife, you just put it down. Don't ever play with the blade, just gonna go sideways down. And like I say, reunite everything with the spine of your knife. So this is it. This is the beginning of a great love relationship with your knife. So I know this is kind of odd, you know, I put already some recipe on my YouTube channel, but this is one that you really need to pay attention to first and foremost, because the knife will be the tool that you'll be using the most. I also have an ebook where I explain this a little bit more in detail. The link will be underneath this video. So if you like this video, like it, share it, comment it, and ask any questions. By all means, I love to respond to anything, and subscribe and share with your friends. So I hope you really enjoy this cooking basic with me today. I am G&G, and I'm very grateful that you're here today. See you next time. Bye.